Good evening, BBQ2U YouTube and Facebook audience. This is Jennifer Noreen with Beyond Brand Collective, and I'm here with Gary Parker. Hello, Gary. How are you?
Hello, how's everybody tonight?
Well, I'm fine, and I hope everyone out there is good. I know that this is your Friday, or you're actually
Right.
the end of your work week.
Into my
Um,
work week. Yep.
yep. So we wanted to talk about, you guys are kind of becoming famous for the philanthropy that you're doing in the community. So we wanted to talk about that. I want to
Right.
get an update from you on that. I also want to get an update from you on COVID. I know you're still not doing outdoor dining, but
Nope.
curious to know how things are going with the COVID situation in your restaurant. Gary owns BBQ2U in on Point Fosdick in Gig Harbor, Washington, and they are a very classic Southern style, Southern hospitality barbecue restaurant that serves brisket that's pretty famous, and pretty delicious. So Gary, what is this about? Helping the community schools in your lobby, and what's that about? So,
Yep.
what are you doing?
So we're going to reach out. Um, COVID's been around. It shut everything down. Kids are
Yeah,
starting to go. At least around here, kids are starting to go back to school. At least part
sure.
time anyway. Um, One of the things we don't think about, since we're all busy trying to get through COVID and deal with those kind of issues, right? Is all these organizations, these fundraising organizations, things like that that help these kids out, um, just don't have the ability to go out and do the fundraising the way that they typically do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we said we're going to set the bar, right? Because on the other, for those who know me, also know that I'm a big believer in small business can make a big impact on some of these things. It's always not about tax initiatives, and I'm an empty nester, right? And Lord knows I don't need any more property tax, right? Between the
Mm,
store and between the houses, and I pay plenty on that one, you know.
sure,
So
sure.
how do you help these kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about youth leagues. We're talking about all kinds of things, right? And many of you have seen that, already helped the baseball team, the Hit Dogs, right? So go out and
Mm-hmm.
support them. Go Hit Dogs. Um, but how do you get? How does the schoolroom teachers get their fundraising done, right? So they can have their resources. So we said, hey, why don't we just expand on the idea that we've been doing with the Hit Dogs, right? And so Miss Lucy's been busy getting everybody together, and we've got a list of schools we're going to help. And starting tomorrow, here I got a visual today. Got a visual today. This is a visual of the sign. So we're going to start out by helping Gig Harbor Academy. And the way this is going to work is they're out there telling all their friends and family and people that attend the school, come over to barbecue to you, buy your dinner, buy your lunch, whatever. We're going to have a box right up there next to the counter. Okay, so when you pay,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to have that sign that I just showed you on it. Here, I'll show you again. Um,
Join
and
Barbecue 2 supporting local education. Gig Harbor Academy is the school of the week. So you
that's right.
drop off your receipt in the
Drop off your
bucket on the
receipt.
counter.
Right at the end of the week, I pick up all those receipts that the nice people have dropped in there,
Mm-hmm.
and I give them 10% of the subtotal, 10% before tax.
Wow, that's
Okay.
generous. So,
Yeah. And so we're just going to partner with these schools. We're going to partner with these organizations, and we're in 1 week at a time. We're just going to help these people get as much as they can get going again. Right.
so if everybody puts their receipt in that bucket on the counter, you will give a 10% of business
Yep.
donation.
Yep.
So you'd be writing a check to that organization for
That's
after the
right.
week is over.
Yep, and I'm sure we'll probably do some fancy stuff like take pictures and things like that. I don't know what Miss
So,
Lucy's got planned for that, but
mm-hmm.
but I'm sure she's got something creative going on, right?
Mm-hmm. Super fun. That's so
Yeah.
cool. And what a
So
creative way to use the COVID empty lobby, right? Because you're still
right.
not dining in or
Well,
dining
we're
out.
dining in. No, we're dining in. We're not dining out because there's no place in this parking lot to put a tent. So that's not really something we can do. But we did open up this week. And we're at 25% or so capacity. All the tables are out. Just only a few tables have chairs though.
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of things, right? And so we've had a pretty good week. The people that really are looking to dine in really appreciated it.
Mm-hmm.
And most people are still taking it out, taking it home, but we offered what we could, right? By
So
the
how
way,
many tables is that?
I've got like 5 tables populated right now with chairs out of my total, you know, total area.
But you're going to
So,
keep the book corner and you're going to keep the art.
right, the book corner stays. Larry is getting ready to celebrate Lincoln's birthday. You know, 'cause or Larry Fowler, who wrote the Lincoln books that you see here in the store. It's Lincoln's birthday here coming up pretty quick, and he's got some special things planned for that we need to talk about here pretty soon on one of these broadcasts, right?
Well,
The other thing that we've got in the lobby, because I know you haven't been here in a week or so, is we've also partnered up with the Gig Harbor Candy company, and so we have Valentine's candy in here. Packets, with their famous salted caramels and their I'm trying to remember. It's one of their barks that they make, and there's three candies over there. I'm sorry, I should have looked that up before I got on the air here. But
okay, so Gig Harbor Candy.
yep, I believe that's what it is.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. So there's an opportunity to buy Valentine's Day gifts.
That's right. That's right. It's right over in our merchandising area. We just
Mhm.
used one of the empty tables, so when you walk in, and you go around the corner there, like we do, we just took that corner table and Lucy made it all pretty with a nice tablecloth and baskets
Nice.
and she's got it all laid out over there, right? So no effort on your part. If you want to just buy some sweets for your sweetie, then there you go. They're sitting there ready for you right before you get your barbecue. And a lot of
Cool.
wines are still over there, so we've got a
Yep.
full stock of that. The winery's been closed, so a lot of folks are coming in for that. And so you can get your candy, and you can get your wine, and you can get your barbecue, and life will be wonderful.
Wow. So you can have dinner, buy some chocolate, donate to a local school, see some art, and read a book,
Read a book.
all in the BBQ2U lobby. That's
That's right.
amazing. Yeah.
Talk about barbecue being the center of the community, right?
Yes. And barbecue is the only thing you pay for. Well, I guess you'd have to donate, but everything
Yeah,
else is pretty much at your service. That's funny.
that's fun.
So, what's going on with COVID? So we went into phase two. Sounds
Yeah.
like you opened up your lobby at 25%. Is there any other changes? Have you noticed that your pickup and delivery business has shifted at all since you have
No,
gone 25%? No?
no. I think people are being a little bit cautious. Is what I see. Even
Mhm.
even those of us who are store owners, we've kind of got one eye on the ball here because they opened it up. They changed the rulings to be every 2 weeks. So this coming week is another session with the governor, right? So we'll find out whether he wants to leave it open, right? And so some of us have been a little bit cautious, a little bit hesitant as we put everything back in order for lobby works, right? Because we just don't know if we have to pick it right back up and put it away again, right?
So
So
there's a chance that it won't stay in phase two, or there's a
nope,
chance that something about restaurants will change.
no, it's a chance that it won't stay in phase two if the numbers don't meet the criteria they set, right? So now I think from what I can see here in Little Good Harbor and in the Kitsap Peninsula, things are looking pretty good, but I don't know
Hmm.
what the real numbers are. So I'll let the professionals tell us what we need to do, and that's how we'll respond. You know,
Yeah,
so we're
sure.
hoping we
Well,
can keep it open and just get better, right?
yeah. Well, your pickup and delivery business has done very well
Yeah.
during
So
COVID.
far, yeah,
So it's a bonus to have the dining room open, but if you have to go back to the other,
yeah, yeah. We're
you've
getting
done
pretty good at shifting back and forth now, right?
it.
It doesn't take us long, and matter of fact, we even left all the different tape schemes on the floor, right? So in case we have to
Hmm.
go back, the center stripe stuff is still down. If the tables are out, then the side tapes are in. Those kind of
Hmm.
things. So we're getting pretty good at shifting these things back and forth.
Yeah, being flexible, sure. So what else is going on? So are you busy? Are you in your role there busy? Are you
Oh yeah,
still, yep. And you have a full team. I know you have a little bit of changes with your team, but for the most part, things are business as usual.
oh yeah, yeah. So um, all the guys are doing well, right? And we're just busy,
Hmm.
and serving good barbecue every day and trying to continue to do our community service, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah. I'm convinced it's the social media team that you have working for you that keeps the word out about everything.
I'm sure that helps. I'm sure that helps. You
Yeah.
know,
Advertising's not a bad thing, right?
nope, no.
Uh,
Henry Ford said that a company doesn't advertise is doomed, right? So you,
mhm.
regardless of what you think about it, you got to do it. You got to do it with intention, right? You can't
Yep.
just you can't do a what's the word I'm looking for, Jennifer? When you don't give it your heart, right?
Well, you have to do it 100%.
You have to do it 100%,
Proactively and
right?
100%. Yeah. So I know that you want to educate people about knives and some of
Um,
your cooking methods. We're looking at shifting away from burnt ends and trimming out brisket. We've gone over that quite a bit, and people are ready for some new topics. So,
yeah.
what is it we have coming with Gary in the kitchen?
Well, Gary's studying. Pitmasters. I don't know how many people know. Pitmasters always study, right? Because we
Mm-hmm.
study a lot about fire. We study a lot about meats. How meats come to us.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of detail. So recently, the conversation came up about knives. I think you've mentioned it when you've been in the kitchen with us about how sharp the knives are, and as you watch,
Crazy.
how they can do that kind of stuff. So I've been trying to study
Mm-hmm.
metallurgies, right? And the chemical makeup of many of the knife blades
Mm-hmm.
that I know that I like to find out why they do what they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, somebody like myself, obviously, it's more than the usage of a kitchen knife, right? Because we use these knives day in, day out, and I have a few that I'll show you. So like you've seen, I'll show the team this one. This is it's kind of steely. It's very chrome. It's very bright. Um,
Mm-hmm.
this is they call it a VG steel, and VG stands for the um, chemical makeup when this steel is made. And did I say I'm not an expert on this yet? Matter of fact, I'm going to make a call right here before I finish this. Is I'm actually looking for somebody that may be in our fan base, which is a real metallurgist. 'Cause I'd love to sit down and have some conversation with him. Maybe even have him on one of these broadcasts. Let us talk, because I would like to learn more about the different steel recipes that are being used to make these high-end knives, so I can
Mm-hmm.
understand certain things. So, for example, this one is very shiny, and that's the reason I kind of have it reflecting for you. It's got a lot of chrome in it. They put a lot of chromium in it, and the reason they do that is because, first of all, they don't want it to. It's steel, so they don't want it to rust, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that helps with their rust retention. But then also, uh, it's got chromium in it. It's got some carbon in it to make it hard, but it's also very flexible.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's a number of things that they've done, um, and but the problems with this is it has a lower edge retention. So that means in the morning when I'm trimming out all those briskets and porks and various other things, I have to carry a steel with me, and I have to hone it quite often, right? So it's a little bit softer edge on the thing, as opposed to some of you have seen me use this one in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I know it appears shiny, but it's really dark. It's got a lot more carbon in it. It almost looks like it's made out of a spring steel.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's really flexible, right? Which is what
Mm-hmm.
I like for trying to trim out these meats. But this one will hold its edge for a week without having to hone it, right? It is
Yep.
very, very hard, right? And I think that's because of the carbon content that's in it. And so, but that makes it, when it does go dull, it makes it very, very hard to sharpen. In fact, this one, in order to sharpen it right, I have to take it to my metal oxide wet grinders, right, in order to really put the edges back where it needs to be, and be able to use it like I know it can perform. So I don't, I'm trying to study these different metallurgies and try to make some kind of knowledge out of, when I buy knives, what is it that I'm really looking for in those metal recipes, right? And
Yeah.
that becomes very important to us, because you can work yourself to death honing it all the time, or you can have one that'll hold its edge a little bit better, but then it's got the drawback that it's really hard to sharpen once you need to, right? For
So do you have
example.
sharpeners there in your kitchen?
No, I actually have them in my shop. I
Mm-hmm.
don't bring them in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I tend to use a wet grind methodology rather than that rather than what you've probably seen on TV, which is where they have a sanding belt, they take a blade across it to reform that edge. I
Mm-hmm.
use a metal oxide wheel that's wet. They call it wet grinding,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll get these blades razor sharp, or just razor
Mm-hmm.
sharp, right?
So if I'm looking to build my knife collection for barbecue preparation, where do I go to find some of the kinds of tools that you use?
That will be the ultimate goal. Because what I'm doing right now is I'm buying these knives from all over the place and I'm trying them out.
Mm,
And then what I'm doing is I'm going back on their websites, going down into the spec sheets, right? Looking up
mm-hmm.
what the manufacturer and the name of the steel is that they're using on
Mm-hmm.
the knives. Then I'm going back out into the into Google, right? And I'm looking up those usually using Wikipedia.
Wikipedia,
Yeah, I was
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Yeah.
You using that to start with, which usually gets me back to a manufacturer, which will get me to a manufacturer's page, right,
Mm-hmm.
where I can go in and read some of the deeper characteristics of it, right. So hopefully, what this will all do is it'll give me a deeper understanding of these blades and what they were specifically designed for, and how to better take care of them, how to better use them, and make them serve me better.
Yeah, so the goal is to eventually have some recommendations for your fans. We
Right.
have two sets of people out there in, at least in the digital media world on the internet. You have a just a fiendish group of barbecue crazy nutto fans. I mean, I don't even know what to call them. These people barbecue, I think, like 7 days a week, and they hone
Right.
the craft like an art. And
Right.
they are just hungry for information and new ways to try, to do things. And then
Mhm.
we have just also the set of customers that you have locally and in the Tacoma,
Mhm.
Kitsap area.
Right.
So, I think in both of those audiences, you have people that are interested to be able to do what you do at home.
Right.
Um, we know they like to come in and buy your food, but they also would like to try some of these things at home. And you've talked about this time of year being kind of the time when you start to put your tools together,
Yep.
because in some areas of the country, anyway, you can start actually barbecuing again outside, coming out of the deep winter. So,
Yep. In fact, it's going to snow next week. I've heard. So, a good time to get out there, get the pits ready now, so we can all go barbecue in the snow. That's always a lot of fun.
yep. So so can we expect that the next Gary in the kitchen will be talking about knives and knives
I think
care and
I think it's going to be
any?
a conversation, an ongoing conversation. Like I said, I would love to find a metallurgist or a knife
Mhm,
maker here locally and
mhm.
meet them and have some barbecue and then sit around and talk about what they know,
Yeah,
and and kind of broaden my understanding of this topic.
yeah, because it sounds like you're looking to eventually be able to make a recommendation, but you're just not there yet. You're kind of learning for yourself what you like. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense. All right, well, very good. So again, just to review, there's an opportunity to buy chocolate in the lobby, um, but also eat great brisket, but also support our community schools.
Mhm.
There will be one school a week, probably for the next, I know, 5 or 6 weeks at least.
Right.
And if you put your receipt, after you purchase your food, you put your receipt in a bucket on the counter, 10% of your receipt amount will go to the school of the
Cool.
week. So thanks to Lucy Raw for organizing all of that. And also just that continual support of the Hit Dogs, which is a local baseball team.
Right.
And hopefully a new Gary in the Kitchen coming very soon. Keep an eye on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be announcing it. So always good to see you. Nice to see you still doing well during COVID. One of the happiest conversations I have is BBQ2U during the COVID crisis. I'm not sure. I mean, it's been a hard thing, but it's also been an amazing, successful, good thing as well. I think you've been very flexible.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Yeah, it's been wonderful. And it's great community support. I mean, none of this would happen without the community, right? So I think I said that last time. I want to say it again. We couldn't be here without the community taking care of us like they are. 'Cause this is
mhm.
some hard time.
Yep, I agree. I think the community has, especially in Gig Harbor, has just gone nuts with local support, local business support. I see people on social media, sharing out posts about a new restaurant they tried, or restaurants even supporting one another by putting
Right.
lists of restaurants that are open and all of that. So
Right.
there was a while that we didn't have a lot of selection in Gig Harbor because so much was closed. So you've remained open, and there's been some others. So well, good to see you, Gary, and we'll be talking to you soon again. We'll do another one of these fireside chats in the next couple weeks, and
Right.
looking forward to more updates. So take
These are
care,
fun.
Gary Parker.
Yeah. See you,
All
everybody.
right. Okay. Bye.